Okay guys, this is Bill Fandel checking in here at the property at 5109 M44 Road. I've just walked up from the driveway area to the front walk. This kind of gives you a sense of location of the guest house, kind of the feel looking down the valley. Really nice. I mean, today's kind of a flat light, kind of gray day. We might get some rain, so things are looking nice and green here. I'm just doing a quick 360 here for you to get a feel for this kind of front entry. So walking up front walkway, kind of dry stack stone as you come up, come into the front door. Now you can also enter through the garage on the lower level, but I wanted to give you guys a feel for what that front entry is. So you come in on the main level here. Nice kind of entry foyer here, pegs for hanging coats, etc. And then sleeping areas down here, the former stable. We're going to go up the stairs here. Guys are here to clean today, which is kind of nice. So I'm walking up here onto the main level. Gives you a sense. So up a short set of stairs, and then into the kitchen area. So really nice vaulting in here, generous ceiling heights, nice size kitchen. Appliances are current. So you've got KitchenAid, Bosch, Decor, and a Genair stove. Have a fireplace here, three-sided. And then as you move through, you can see it's a rather generous living area. These stools are going to go back in along this bar seating. But substantial in terms of size. I mean, they've configured it a certain way for their own interests. And you have a generous dining area. They have it presently set up for 6, but it certainly you could add to that. It's a nice sized deck off this living area. See a trailer down there. The upper part of the valley, you start picking up some views of Dolores Peak. So we'll come back and give you some more of those. As I said, this great hillside that's covered in oak and heads down to the creek in the base of the valley. All that Gamble oak turns red and orange here in the next couple months as fall comes along. So another view of the dining. Moving into what is a nice, generous, kind of warm sitting area here. Again, vaulted ceilings. Nice kind of scissor trusses. Storage for wood. Big flat screen. As I pull back, you again get a sense of these spaces. Now I'm going to head this way into the master suite. Again, generous volume. Big sitting area and workspace. Built-ins. Come back around to a nice size built-in closet, master closet. Then pulling back here, generous size master bed and sleeping area, armoire. Now I'm moving this way to the master bath, which is really cool. It's kind of a country house, French, paneled feel. Nice big soaking tub. Nice tiled shower with bench. Let's work our way back this way. And then into a more substantial closet. Let's see here. So you've got plenty of additional storage space, and this is set up as a a secondary master closet. In fact, it may be larger in scale than the master. So we're going to move this way around, start heading back downstairs. Again, another good view of this great room kitchen space. These guys have been good to, they're both cleaning the house today and have been helpful to let us do this, so appreciate it. This is a landing that you see here with these really cool iron doors giving way to the stairwell. Again, this is a nicely sunlit stair coming down into additional bedroom areas here, sleeping areas. So there's a few different ways this can be configured down here. This is the second dedicated suite. So you come in, again, kind of cool country style. Good sized closet here. Moving back in this way into, again, a nice generous size guest suite. Plenty of room. Very nice if you had visitors. Plenty of room for additional seating. They have it set up with rather simple kind of country furniture, and yet at the same time, if you wanted to add some more substantial furnishings, a nice view down the really cool valley view. You'll get great sunrises and sunsets here. Coming in to this bath, again, tiled shower with bench seating, generous space. There's a WC and a cool corner sink. As I mentioned, Linda Collins, the original owner, she had good taste, and it's comfortable and rustic, yet has kind of cool country charm to it. Moving back through here, stone floors, kind of rich and rugged tone to these. That's Anna. Anna and I work closely together. So now moving into what could be a rec room, but also could be allocated to additional carved up for additional sleeping space. In fact, this could be a very cool bunk room back to here. It's an enormous amount of space. This could also be a really nice third master. These doors open outside. Maybe Anna, can you help me with these? And we can open that to the outside, give you a feel for how you can walk out on this level. This was kind of a workshop, kind of family room with the Collins. I'm going to step out. This is one of the different locations where you can step outside. But so you come out onto this terrace. It's stamped concrete. They have it set up. It's, I would do more with this personally, but they have a smoker out here, sitting area, nice spot to pick up light at different times of day, kind of looking uphill toward the entry drive. And then coming around, you've got some nice aspen trees right here. Give you some shade, nice sitting spot here. And then I'll head back into this space. Some of the things to point out too as I'm walking around, you've got this really nice wide plank floor, natural finish, comfortable. The place definitely has a nice, wood smoke smell without it being either overwhelming or contrived. Just kind of has a good ranch house feel. Coming into one of these really neat sleeping spaces for your kids, probably. They took these stalls and converted them, and they're actually super cool, really fun, and generous actually in size. They're not, nobody's, at a loss for space. As we move this way again, has kind of this cool transitional tack room feel. Going into a second one of these, really neat, especially for your kids. I think these would be really fun. They're generous in size. Yeah, they have this watering trough. I mean, it's just kind of cool. I think it was a very thoughtful use of space, and certainly lends itself to a family here. Your third space here, which they have set up for their own needs as an office, becomes this third space. So, if you look at these, you have really 5 good sleeping spaces in the main house with an opportunity for a 6th. And then really this bunk room makes for a 7th. I mean, just depends on how you configure it. This was the tack room. Really cool. You could probably add a couple lamps in here if you want to realize some more with that corner, some light. But nice bunk beds. You've got a full on the bottom, a twin on the top. And again, this whole space is really cool. This opens to the outside on this end. So it has this cool natural feel, and yet is comfortable, functional, and nicely appointed. If we were to go downstairs, you go downstairs to the garage. I'll head down there just so you get a feel for that. So easy access if you're pulling into the house on a winter's day, or it's raining, or there is lighting here. I just didn't have it on, but really good sized garage space here. There's a work area here. He's got what looks like a full-size GMC truck that he's left here. As you can see, you got a nice side-by-side complemented by a 4-wheeler. A lot of equipment. We'll have to look at the list if they're keeping any of those things. Also have a substantial gun safe down here, and it's weighty. So if this was something, I'm sure we might get them to leave that, which to me is a real value add, especially you guys like having some guns on the property. And then, as I said, there's 3 bays down here, and all good size. Obviously, it can accommodate a full-size truck, and then all the gear. You have a log splitter there, have a chipper, you have snow removal. So certainly a house that lends itself to toys and equipment. There's additional storage lockers that are built in. And then we're going to head back out. Actually, why don't we go out the garage so we can see what that opens up to. And then we'll walk down to the guest house from here. So just bear with me. We're walking out one of these bays, so it's going to get a little washed out on light. This is one of the housekeeper's cars. So you come out to a paved apron, and then a generous gravel, and then an entry gate, kind of ranch gate here, and then new fencing around the main part of the house. If you look up the canyon here, you've got really nice views to the peak, and that'll get snow capped probably in the next couple of months. It'll get its first snow in probably even the first month, and that's a beautiful peak, especially different times of day. It gets washed in light. I'm walking this way to give you a sense. One of the things that I said in our discussions, Mike, was that a lot of usable land. So especially for your kids, you guys, you and Kristen, you're running around. You can watch the kids from the house's deck. We're going to turn back around. That's my Rover there. But I wanted to give you an elevation view of the house. So put in perspective, you've got these 3 bays here. You go up to what would be the rec room flex space. And then on the top floor, where you see that deck that extends the whole top floor of the house, that comes out from the living area. So again, say the kids are out here and they're playing, they're running around, you'd be able to easily watch from that deck. And then I'm gonna start walking down here. This is the driveway. It continues down to the guest house. You see the guest house over there. It's really cute. Actually, I remember the first time I saw this house from the road up above in the distance. I was always really fascinated by this guest house and what this property looked like. You look this way down into this, I'm going to try to zoom in here, down into this creek corridor that runs at the base of this whole canyon. You can't see it immediately from different parts of the house, but this is really a beautiful corridor filled with, you know, all the things, all the kind of brush and kind of tree cover you'd expect from a riparian area. The road out in the distance winds to a much larger ranch, and if you think about, I think I've described to you on top of these mesas that we're looking around here, you've got ultimate protection, not only from the weather, but on top there are two different ranches that collectively total about 15,000 acres. So very large ranches to the west. The driveway's in good shape. Gravel's in good shape. You see a mix of some wildflowers and different things. I do see some thistle that if I was here, I'd probably spray that. On the hillside, and I mentioned this from inside the house, but there's some things, a really nice stand of young aspen here growing. So at any given moment on these properties, you have aspen dying off and then new saplings and groves that are kind of taking shape. So a lot of new growth and a lot of water that runs through this the base of this valley. All this gamble oak that I pointed out from inside that's covering these hillsides is really some really cool rock foundations and bluffs. Almost has a feeling of like hill country, but much higher in terms of its elevation and kind of relief. Looking in this direction, the property continues all the way to the elevated bench down there on the lower below that hillside. So as you know, the property's 76 acres, but divided between these two parcels, and that would be a great spot for a second house. It would be a great place for a teepee or a really cool kind of army tent glamping setup. Now, looking down, I'm going to move back over the edge of the driveway here to give you a sense of this creek rolls year-round all the way down in this corridor down there. There's always water in there, and that's why it's lush and you know, kind of teeming with all that brush down there. Now we're walking up to the guest house. As we said, there's a nice mowed area down here of grass, which you could certainly expand. Like I was saying to you on our call, if you wanted to do a bigger area, that's something you could really do. Like say you wanted to create a sports field for the kids, you know, football, wiffle ball, whatever. There's opportunities like that. Now this guest house is really neat. Has a deck that wraps around, covered on three sides. Generous size garage. You see it's got a dog door there. But nice down here, super private. Here's a stand of kind of young aspen. And then again, wrapping around the closest house of any view is interestingly way up on that hilltop there. And I talked to your neighbor this morning. Her name's Abby Dix. She was more than happy to visit with you guys if you have questions about living out here. She spent many years out here, coming and going from various locations. Now, we're coming in the entry door at the guest house. Looking left, you open into a garage area. Hold on just one sec. So, generous garage. Again, this could easily accommodate 2 cars. That's what the apron suggests. So you may, if you want to have a Suburban or a bunch, or keep 4-wheelers and side-by-sides down here, this is a good spot for that. Has an overhead door. And we're now going to go back up, head upstairs. So continuation of that kind of wide plank pine flooring. And then you come up to the entry, and it's a cool stained concrete floor. We don't have the lights on in here, so it's a little muted in terms of light, but plenty of natural light. I've always liked this space. Really cool for guests. Come over here. Sweet little dining and breakfast nook. Nice views out over the valley. Door to the outside. Thanks, Anna. Wood stove over here. And then into the guest suite, which is really nice. And again, floor to ceiling windows in here, lots of nice natural light. Come this way into a tiled bath. So the finish is consistent with the main house. Plenty of storage. Again, if you had family or friends or business associates, this would be a real home run. Or a small family, you know. You could set it up with additional sleeping down here. Now we're headed this way. We're going to go out to the deck. You have a walkway, a kind of cool entry walkway. If you were to call this the formal front door, winds around, again, dry stack. Nice little entry. And then just an absolutely awesome covered porch. You know, whether it's a really sunny day or get some afternoon rains, which we'll probably have today. This is just so nice down here. 270 degrees of views. Really nice. You know, you've got this nice hanging chair here. Gives you a sense. Very private down here. Outdoor dining. Move this way. Kind of ranch style fixtures. Stain is all in good shape. Walk down this way. Nice aspen. A couple of them give you a nice break from sun. And yeah, really sweet. I think this guest house is a real value add to the property. So heading back this way inside, I think this gives you a feel. Again, you have nice views up to a portion of Dolores Peak. When some of the leaves come off that aspen, that'll be an unfettered view in winter, and just really, really nice. You'll get morning incredible sunrises that kind of wash this whole expanse of hillside, and then come late day, the sky and the peaks in the distance will all be lit up with really dramatic sunlight from the west facing. Now, a critical piece of the puzzle, and I think what made this very appealing to Mrs. Collins, was because of this hillside to the west, you get this massive buffer from weather that would, if you were sitting up on top of that hillside, you would get a whole lot of wind, whole lot of snow just kind of hammering you up there. But this is really tucked into its own private valley and kind of a shelter from the storm down here. So that's it for the moment. It's a long video, but I think it'll give you a really good sense of the property. And I'll send it later today, and then we can check in after the fact.